We're ready. Um, Remember, we talked about having your racquetball. So I hope you've got that. Grab a block. Yeah, I realized I needed to set that up different. Then I had to get a chair to go on top of a table so that it was high enough. So we are here. We are finally ready to go. You can see that there's a couple people on. So hang on, and I'm actually going to, I promised someone I'd get on Instagram. Good morning. So I hope you're ready to do some yoga from the chair. All right. Go ahead and sit. Oh, my quote's on my phone and my computer. Oh, well, I'll try and remember it. No, I can't. I'd like to start our focus today just with it's from the Sutras 1.3. United in our hearts, our consciousness is steadied. Then we can come from our true nature and we live in our true nature, which is joy. We all want joy. That's what we're looking for. And so when we are united in our heart, then our consciousness is steadied. What you just think? That just is so applicable for what's going on in our world today. Okay. So as we practice this morning, I'd like you to keep that thought in your mind. When I'm united in my heart, and that's not just necessarily I have to have we have to have peace, right? But there's just always peace between us, between peoples. Yes, that's very much an application. But I think there's also an understanding that you can have peace within yourself. You can be united within your own self. And I think that's just as important. In fact, I believe that without that, I'm not really able to do it with people. So close your eyes. Sit up on the edge of your chairs, inhaling and exhaling. If you're watching on my YouTube channel, okay, these always are public. I make all the Yoga for Everybody public. This is a class that I teach at Ivory Ridge Swim and Tennis Club. And for a while, we're just going to do it from home still. Let that breath wash up and down your spine. Sometimes, I don't know if you feel this way, go ahead and stretch your arms up overhead, right? And as you stretch your arms overhead, I can see I need to make just a little bit more of a shift. I don't know how much further back I can go. When we stretch, that first stretch of the morning, can you notice how deep the inhale is as you stretch? What if all day long we continued that stretch? By taking that deep, deep inhale and then making the exhale instead of a ha and be done. Notice that then your inhale can actually be deeper. So I really want you to try to breathe this slowly all throughout class today, okay? I'm going to go make one more adjustment to the Instagram. It's like I'm on the edge of the screen. Sorry, guys. Well, hi, Lauren. Getting on here. Shalini. Okay, so I promised, if you were on last week, that we would work with balls. I know, Shalene, you have one. I don't know, Lauren, if you were able to grab one. But these are a very valuable tool, okay? And I think I've got it okay. I'll probably kneel and do it against the wall and show you how to do that. Um, I tried to wear dark against my lighter wall so that you could see, okay? So we'll start with our feet. So you're just putting it under, you're finding, okay, if this is like, yeah, Debbie, we do this all the time, find the places in your foot that are like, oh, ouch, right? And then stay there for just a minute, breathing deeply, that same breath we just did. United in our heart, okay? If we have no idea how we're feeling or we're not admitting it, we just feel "Ugh," and we lash out, okay? There's something going on in here that we need to address. Because if we're in this united in heart attitude, then when this comes at us, right, we're able to kind of go, oh, yeah, I got this. Okay. It is huge. So finding the places that are kind of ooh, ouches, and just moving to those. Ooh, using the ball, okay, there's a couple ways to use this. We've talked about it. I'll talk about it again. This is our foundation. We walk throughout our day on those feet, okay? They need to be addressed every single week. And I've shared with you what I've shared in class for many years. When I was a teenager, my dad started to teach me something, and I'm like, Dad, I know that. You already told me that. And I I was a snotty teenager. I probably didn't understand that united in heart. I'm not a snotty adult or older adult. Okay. And he just looked at me and he said, "You like to eat every day, don't you?" And I looked at him and I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Then listen more than once." And it stayed with me. For whatever reason, it was the perfect clue for me to understand. Okay. So you'll be, yeah, Debbie, I've heard that. Good. Just breathe through it and keep going. Okay. So this second way of moving, okay, the first one, you're just finding places and you're just kind of holding them on there. You can wiggle it around if you want a little bit, but you're really finding, I find that in the arch, much more sensation than anywhere else. And remember that there's an inner arch, there's also an outer arch. So go over there to the outside of it and you'll feel, oh, 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 there's a place, okay? This is stimulating blood flow, okay, because it's compressing, but it's also really accessing the fascia, which surrounds the muscle and which connects the muscle to the bones and which connects the bones to each other. It's just all through the body, okay, different types of fascia. So, second way to move is what we call shearing. You notice that my heel's down and I'm just going side to side. So here I'm actually going across the grain of the muscle. It's fabulous. It's like a bloop, 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 bloop. I roll these throughout my body. I'll lay on my belly and do my thighs. I'll sit and do my legs. Okay. I'll get underneath the chair and we'll do there. So pretty much any place we're going to do it on the wall in just a little bit. Okay. So that's side to side. And you can also take your foot down and side to side on the ankle or on the heel. That's not an ankle, that's a heel. Okay. But you could do the ankle. Ankle would be harder. You'd have to manually do that. But let's try it. It's fabulous. Okay. And then one of the other ways that I think is very beneficial is to run the length of the muscle. So you'll notice I'll come clear up over my heel and clear down to the toes. See, even if you can get your toes to spread, spreading our toes is something we lose as we age. Take it up. And you know what? The ball may roll away. Get it back. If you weren't on and didn't get your ball in time for class today, Walmart has them for $2.97. At least that's what it used to be. Or you can be a big thing for like 10. Okay, go ahead and go to the second foot. Find the places that are tight first. We really are going to spend some time doing this, and then we'll get into some sun salutations with our chair. So we're really looking for ways. I do this in the car, and I'll show you how I do it in a minute. Okay. But this is one of the most beneficial things you can do for your body. Find that place. Oh, there's one for me. And just stay there breathing. Now, with our thoughts, our theme of this united in heart, right? When you do that, can you feel how you just want to immediately, oh, I'm done, out of here? No, stay with that and just breathe. And then maybe some gentle movement with that. And then you'll find that when you come back to it a second and a third time, it's not as tender. Make sure you get the outside edge of that arch, that outside arch. And then planting the heel, shear across the ball of the foot. I go even into the arch here, side to side. And then toe down, access the heel. It's fabulous work. Now, okay, let's try and let me show you ankles and feet. Now, if this is hard for you, which it is for a lot of us, okay, then you can totally grab a block. If you don't have a block, a stool is fine. A chair might be a little high unless you have some little chairs. I have some little grandkids' chairs, right? Those would be perfect. So take it with your hand and just roll around the ankle, right? Roll across. I love to lengthen my toes here. I've got this middle toe, it's hereditary. Okay, it loves to just kind of hammer toe. So find that and just roll across the top of them. You'll be amazed at how that feels. Okay, and you're just using this. You can totally do the same thing with your hands. If you've got a countertop, just go like this on the countertop, or like I'm doing on my leg, right? Just do it on your leg. Then your quadricep gets it as well. Okay, and then you can always take it and roll fingers. Okay, you're looking for sensation. These are fabulous, regardless. Maybe you think, oh, I don't need to do that. If you run, walk, bike, swim, live, this is so beneficial. Go ahead and just put the ball down for a sec and pause. You've just done one hand. Notice the difference between your hands. You've just done the top of that foot. You've done both feet. Notice the tingle. You've increased blood flow. That is a benefit to everyone. Okay. So let's do the ankle on this second side. Here, if you can get here, then totally this is fine. Okay. And you're going around the ankle. If you need to get the outside of the ankle, you got to do it here. So I don't do this every day on my feet, at least this part. I do it underneath almost every day. I rarely miss, and it makes a difference. I'm doing across the top to help lengthen my toes. Notice I'm going long with the length of where the tendons run. Okay, they run from here out because when we go like this, we can see them. So we're just accessing. Tendons are made up of irregular tissue, right? Connective tissue, which is what fat should be. It's amazing. Okay, let's do one hand, the other hand. We did the one hand. Find, oh, I've got a place here. That's an old injury. I've got a tiny little, they've got a little protrusion. There's a little protrusion or hook on the bone that hooks a tendon around it. And I took a fall and I know that that's cracked or either dislodged, I guess is the word I'm looking for. And so often I will feel that right there. And I just kind of go in and do the tops of the hands too. And then pause and again, feel that sensation. It's quite magical. I want you to take the ball. Now, if you're in a really cushy chair, one, you're not going to be able to sit up so tall. If you're in easy boy, your spine will go like this. I don't know about you, but I don't want a spine that's like that all the time. So I'm going to practice sitting up as straight as I can. Right? But take it and just put it under one butt cheek, one gluteus maximus muscle. Okay, it's pushing against the chair, and you're just going to roll on it. Now you might think, oh, I don't feel anything. Then move it to a different spot. Okay, you notice I'm wiggling around on this. I do have a little cushion on this chair, but it's not much of a cushion, and I'm right on the edge of it. Okay, so you also want to go down to where the thigh meets that glute. That's where the hamstring attaches. That one's going to be sensational for almost everybody. Okay, and you're going to get down on that, and you're just going to kind of roll side to side. The ball may fall out. It's okay. You might even feel the ball kind of go bloop, 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 bloop as you go side to side. It's just rolling over muscle. It really is one of the best things you can do for these muscles. Okay. Because of that hip injury that we've talked about before, I find that if I will roll out my glutes, I know you're like, but Debbie, the hip's here. Your injury's here. It is. But this whole body has this system of checks and balances, opposition. When I flex my bicep muscle, my tricep actually extends. When I extend and contract the tricep, then the bicep. Your whole body works that way, okay? So when we are united in heart, also in our body, where we're paying attention to how do I move, okay? So I'm just finding a really sore place underneath there, and I'm wiggling to that, okay? You may, if you want, sit back a little further on your chair or turn to the side and stick it under, I'll do this outside leg, a hamstring, okay? Hamstrings tend to be very sensational, okay? They help, and you just roll side to side. You'll feel that. Notice I'm about halfway down my leg. That's actually where the muscle ends. The muscle starts up here at the sit bone and goes back here, and then there's tendon from here down to the knee, right? So it's almost like I'm right on that where it inserts into the tendon. That's one of the reasons it's a little bit more sensational. Okay? So roll through that. Okay, we're still on the same leg, right? Just facing, just showing. Okay, ooh, yeah. And then go ahead, change to the other glute. Just wiggle around. Yeah, I don't know. I actually do this in my car. You're going to think I'm so weird. But if I'm on a long trip, this makes such a difference. This is a knee-high nylon, okay? I take my ball and I put it down into the toe of this nylon, all the way at the bottom. Then I can put it under my leg while I'm driving, and I don't lose it. It's not going to roll off and cause an accident, right? So please, if you try this driving, put it in the sock first. It still works just the same. You'll notice I'm just finding all the different, you're just kind of swirling around in your chair. You might think, Debbie, I haven't swirled around in a chair. Remember when you were young and you had to sit still? This was my sitting still. And then further forward, just find that, yeah. Maybe a little bit further. Ooh, whoa. I really have some sensation in that one, okay? So I better go do the other one because I don't want to be lopsided. That's really closer to the knee. And there's a little bloop, 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 bloop. I'm getting into the adductors here. Now the adductors in the muscles that bring the legs close to, so they add to each other. Those are harder to get. I have to get down on the floor and I roll them on the inside. That may not be possible for all of you, okay? So I want you to pause now for just a moment. Put your ball down and just notice there's definitely a tingle. You've done something very beneficial, okay? So I want you to go to a wall. If you've got this, fine. If you don't, you can come back to this. I make these public. These are available for everyone just on Debbie Arnell YouTube. And if you subscribe, you'll always get a little notification. Actually, I think there's a little bell you have to click when I make a new one. Okay. But I'm doing these every week, every Thursday for the next little bit. Now, you're going to want to stand up, but for whatever reason, I couldn't get that adapted. So I'm going to kneel. Okay. But take it like this, right? And you can go right onto the back for a lean. So if you're standing, that's going to be easier for you to access. You're just going to get shoulders, drop it down a little bit, get right into that shoulder blade. Okay, do one side and then do the other side. Okay, I also take this down to my sacrum. I don't know about you, but sometimes that low back and that sacral area just gets tight. You just push it against the wall. Now, I'm going to stand to do this because if you're pushing this against the wall, you'll lose my head, but that's okay. If you're pushing this against the wall, will you bend into the knees? And if you've got knee issues, walk your feet out so that you never pass that 90 degree. And if you need to hold on to a chair while you do it, please do so. But just get there on that wall. Find that sacrum. Those are tender places. Yeah? I guess I can get almost up here. Try the other side. Find that action, right? And if you need to stand, just stand and do it. But a little bend in the knee, and you can just go side to side. I don't suggest going side to side all the way up the spine, but try to go right up the spine lengthwise. Okay, here, let's go to this other side over my back. And I take this, I can do this in the car. Anybody get right between the shoulder blades tired when you drive? Why not? This pushes against the seat. I'm driving, I'm totally paying attention, right? And I'm massaging at the same time. It's kind of a little bit of a self-massage. Okay, it's extremely beneficial. You can use these balls pretty much any way you really can use them everywhere. Okay, maybe right here hurts, so that against the wall would work. Your neck, you roll it up and down the neck just with your hand, and you feel that. Go ahead and do that. That actually feels really good. Come around the front. Now, don't go right into the vocal cord, okay? You could cause some issues there if you push too hard. And you notice I'm not pushing hard. My hand is flat, and I'm just rolling the ball, and you feel the sensation in the neck muscles. Go ahead and try the other side. So as you have the opportunity of this, that just feels fabulous. Excuse me while I pay attention to myself for a minute. Tuck your chin. Go ahead and go back up the back of the neck. If you find a place, go ahead and just leave it there. It's not a ton of pressure. It's just a little bit. And then go ahead and lose. And some of you may say, you didn't give me time to get that all. Come back, watch it again. Okay. Take some deep breaths. Notice how your body starts to react. It's pretty amazing. All righty. Grab a block. We do our calf stretches. Make sure you notice I'm pushing the block forward so that when I come down with my heel on the ground, and that heel may be a stretch for you, go ahead and you can lean forward, but my knee's at a right angle. It is not less than. I'm here. Okay, so that's what you're going. So the block may have to go more forward. If you have the block here and you go down, that's not a right angle. Okay, you might think, but it's a better stretch on my calf. You can get just as good a stretch. Okay, spread through those feet. Equal weight on the inside edge as the outside edge. Okay, and push down. Notice the knee. Did it go in? Did it go out? Try to keep it straight over the ankle. Straight from the hip. If you need to step this one wide to get a little bit more lean on that, you go ahead and do that. So you're creating that stretch on the calf. This is fabulous, okay? So I have to tell you just a quick well, it's not going to be quick because I'll weave it through. But there's a story that just happened to me yesterday. So I've been this uniting of heart, conscious brings this steadiness of consciousness, right? Mhm. And then I can come from my true nature, which really is joy. I do want to be joyful. I don't want to be a sourpuss. Okay. I have been just riding my stationary bike here at home. Okay. Go ahead and come up and then go back down again. Yeah. Second time. You're welcome here. If I go a little wider and I can lean a little more, there's a little bit bigger stretch through those toes. So anyway, we went out. We have a tandem road bike, and we went out yesterday for the first time for me on the road. And my husband headed up Suncrest, which is up the mountain. It's a half hour, probably about a 4,000-foot elevation shift. And I'm like, what the freak are you doing to me? I was like, immediately I felt irritated. But I've been working on trying not to feel irritated. Go ahead and come up. Okay, I ran across, and we've talked about this on some online classes. Bring it back down, come up. This idea that when we feel we've been wronged, whether it's real or perceived, we start to feel anger and wrath. So you're coming up and down. Go ahead and roll through that ankle. You can go up and you can drop it, and you can come up. Go ahead and reverse it. You notice the knee is also moving. That's totally fine. Okay. Now we haven't rolled through the hip much before. It's going to require your muscles here. If they start to burn, put your foot back down and bring them back up, or maybe you let it burn a little bit. Working muscle. So lift, and you're just going to take wide circles. We haven't done this online for a long time. Up and wide, and then go ahead and reverse it. See if you can cross it over and up and back. Yeah, so you've got this action going on. It's fabulous. And then go ahead and straighten. Ooh, and bend and straighten. Nice. Let's try the other foot. So anyway, one of the things I found, I was just doing some study, and this talk of feeling wronged, right? And that when we feel wronged, whether it's real or perceived, we can get angry. And when we live in that anger, it turns to hatred. Or we can feel wronged, whether real or perceived. We can decide, I can get angry, but maybe we do get angry. And then we can forgive and say, they did wrong me, but I'm still going to forgive them. Go ahead and go wide. Take it a little deeper. Go ahead and come up and back down, up and back down. Notice I'm leaning with it. Totally fine to do, but my knee is staying right up over. Not until we do circles do I want that to move. Come back, lengthen, and then go ahead and go back wide again and get a deeper lengthen. Okay? So as we headed up, I felt immediate irritation, like, what are you doing? You're going to kill me off, right? And then I thought, oh, wait, you're feeling irritated. You are perceiving that you've been wronged. You probably didn't even think about it. Does that make it a wrong? No. So I decided I just am going to let that one go. That's not going to be. I wanted to be united in heart more, which is really important on a tandem bike. Go ahead and come up. Do your circles. Drop. Do them both directions. Feel that ankle. You might get some clicking in there. It's okay. And then go ahead and lift the leg. In and out, in and out, and then try to go in and out the opposite way. Yeah, I've got some clicking going on in this hip, always have. And then go ahead and plant. Close your eyes and breathe. So what was so interesting about our ride was the minute I made that decision, we got partway up the mountain and he was dying and I was fine. So I was so patient and I'm like, okay, let's take a break. So we took a break and then he needed to take a break later. And I'm like, okay, can you wait till we get up there where it's not on this steep and we're a little bit more level because then it's easier to start back up. And I just talked, I said, you're doing such a great job. You're doing a wonderful job. Way to go. You're pushing through. And we made it all the way to the top, right? Without him having to stop again. Coming down is just freezing in the morning, by the way. But It was so, it was just like a united in heart, right? So maybe there's some areas, some irritations you feel that you can think of that. Good luck. All righty. I want to take and just go wide with both feet. Okay. Now, you may not go as wide as I am. It's okay. I try not to sit back on the chair, but you might want to get back a little. My sit bones are just right on the edge. So this metal portion, I can just find the sit bones that you just kind of roll over the top of those. Okay, you're wide. Bring the hands here. I'd like you to straighten the arms as much as you can. See your shoulders will come up. Okay. If you can't do that, it's okay. I have a long body and short legs, so I get better. I can get that a little bit better. And then I want you to try and bend the elbows towards the back body and pull those shoulders down. So I've got bent elbows, but I'm still pushing into my hands into my thighs and pulling those shoulders back. And then I want you to lean. Don't fall off your chair, but lean. So I am not rounding. I am hinging at the hip, just going wide and coming back up and going wide. Now, as I do this, you have two options. Okay. You can just do this and la 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 la, or you could push your feet firmly into the mat or the floor, right? You can reach your shins a little bit wider. You can take and feel like you've got an ace bandage wrapped around your shins and your thighs, and it's tightened just a little bit. And all of a sudden, you've got muscle energy all the way up your legs. Notice how this feels, the difference. Go ahead and release all that and just kind of sit here and go, I got this. Da, da, da. Or all that work, tightening, bringing it in, lengthening it up, even have an ace bandage go around your middle, right? And in that movement, okay, all of a sudden you start to feel fatigue happening in your thighs, your inner thighs, your outer hips. Okay, even your calves and shins are working because you're straight, you're just really tightening the muscle around the bone. It's a fabulous thing to do. And then go ahead and release. Slowly walk it in, wiggle through. Beautiful work. We're going to try this up here. If you can't get there, you're grabbing a block and bringing your foot here. Okay, we're going to lean forward and come back. Same exact movement. Again, it's not a round forward, right? It's as tall as I can get and hinging at the hip. Hinging up the hip creates a back that stays here. I want to work that back as much as possible because I spend an awful lot of time on the computer and I remember, oh, whoops, back up, right? And forward. Maybe you spend a lot of time in your chair sewing. You're here. You're here sewing. Okay, there's that round again. Or maybe you love to watch some movies or read books. Okay, or whatever it is. Maybe you're in the garden. Okay, so we're looking at how do I train those muscles to hold myself upright. I do not want to have a kyphosis, a hump, dowager hump as I age. I want that back. Okay. I also feel like someone's tugging on my ears. So there's a little bit of that lift going on. And just wiggle side, forward and back. Now we're going to add. Go forward. Okay. Then round back. And then all the way up. And then forward. We want to be able to round back. It feels good. Notice it releases the hip. So if you're lengthening up here and you feel the hip here, but then you lose it here, if you sit more time here, then that baby is not getting this action that is so beneficial for it. Okay, we're going to move with our breath. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, hinge. Inhale here, exhale, curl it back. Inhale, unwind long. Here we go again. Take another inhale here. Exhale, hinge. Inhale here. Exhale, round it back. And inhale all the way up. See if you can just go right into the next one. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. One more. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. All the way up. And plant that. Pause. Notice the hip. Okay. What we do, what we spend our time, how we spend our time moving our body is how our body will continue to move in the future. And I had that aha, that's been years ago. But when I had that, I'm like, I'm doing this forever. Okay. Second side, come up. And again, I'll do this next one here. Okay. So you can cross over. We're doing the exact same, but start slow. Just inhale, lengthen, and exhale, hinge. Now, when you hinge here, okay, with your leg here, you're going to feel it more on the inside than the outside stretch. If you want more of that outside stretch, go ahead and bring the block here, right, and take this. Then when you hinge, you'll feel here. You choose, okay, where you want that. I'm going to leave it here. Then you're going to roll back tight as you can. That scoop of, I used to say, I just love freshly ground peanut butter or almond butter, right? But one of my class members said, how about ice cream? I can't eat ice cream much, so I will say no. But yeah, take that scoop and then around it, and then inhale, unwind it, right? Exhale, there's a hinge. Curl it back. And all the way up. Let's use our breath. Here we go. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge. Inhale here. Exhale, take it back. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge. Inhale here. Round it back. Inhale here. Exhale here. Inhale. Oops. We're staying here. Inhale. Sorry. And exhale back. I let my mind go somewhere else. Inhale here. One more. I know I said one more before I lied. Exhale here. Inhale here. Exhale round. And inhale up. And then pause and notice. How do you feel? Beautiful work. Okay. So we're going to use just kind of induce sun salutations. That's a little bit of a sun salutation there, okay? Inhale, the arms go up. If you've got shoulder issues, the arms can come here. They can be here. They can be here. They can be here, okay? But make sure that they raise somewhat. If you can get them all the way up, palm to palm, beautiful. Inhale here. Exhale, hinge. Okay, that same exact motion. Now my hands come to my thighs. Inhale. Tighten the waistline, right? Exhale, round it back. Inhale all the way up. Inhale again. Exhale, hinge. Hands to the thighs. Inhale here. Exhale, round. Tight, tight, tight. And then inhale, come up. Continue the inhale with the arms. Exhale. Hands here. Inhale. Exhale. Let your body just celebrate. Inhale. Arms up. Exhale. Hands here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale all the way up. This wakens your spine. Go ahead and bring a hand here. You can totally hold on to the chair. Bend your elbow into your body. Put the weight into your hand. Come up and over. Side bend. Oh, yeah. Notice the knees want to just, hold them in. Right by the ankles, up on top of the knees, up here. And find that, stretch. Go ahead and see if you can take it this way a little, like you're trying to reach for the back, but you're not going to grab it. Oh, let's do that one again. Up and over, right? There go the knees. Oh, hold them in. Really hold them in. If you're struggling with that, okay, grab that block, put it between your ankles and hug it. Same thing with muscle energy, right? Reach up over, come back, reach like you're reaching for the back of the chair, come back. Inhale up and over. See if this shoulder instead of here can actually move down the back. This action is beneficial, right? And then come back up and reach for the back. And then pause and notice one side versus the other. And actually, I feel this side, right? Yeah. Here we go, second side. Inhale up and over. Come back up. Reach to go behind you. Come back. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale. Twist. Notice we're moving with our breath. Inhale up. Exhale over. Inhale up. Exhale. Twist. Hugging that inner ankle in. Inhale up. Exhale over. Inhale up. Find that twist. Inhale up and over. Exhale. Inhale. Twist. Exhale. And come back. Pause. You feel pretty good. Yeah. So let's do some of our down dog. Okay. Bring your chair. You'll have it here. Okay. Beautifully done. Just checking time. Okay. Let's come to a stand. I'll come closer to the wall. I've not got this one adjusted. My head's still off the screen, but that's okay. Go ahead and exhale. Reach down. Bend those knees. Same back. Try not to be here. Okay, you have to bend your knees and stick your bum up. So I've got a really funny story I've told most of the class. Inhale up. Teaching a regular class. We're in down dog. And there was a man. Step back. Exhale. Take an inhale here. Reach. He could not get the sit bones to stick up. And if you're here, go ahead and just round, kind of tuck. You don't feel anything in the back of your legs going on, right? It's all right here. It's a strain to that low back, okay? So as you lengthen, okay, we wanted that reach, and I couldn't, there wasn't anything I said. Step back in, inhale. Go ahead and let the arms come up. Exhale, plant the hands and step back. Take a breath here. Inhale, find that length. And exhale, step it back in. Anyway, I was at the back of the room and I had the thought, hey, class, moon me. Even the young kids know what that means. Inhale up. Exhale. I watched as he just took that pelvic tilt and boom, he understood that. So if that's what will give you, find that. I want you to hold this. Bend your knees a little bit more, everybody, okay? Reach back. Don't lose your balance, okay? So that chair, you've still got the hands, but don't pull back on it. Reach. Reach and stretch. Tighten the waistline, but look, I'm not rounding. I'm tightening the waistline just to give the lift. That's going to be one of the best things you can do for your low back is to tighten the waistline underneath. Stretch and reach. Inhale. Couple more of those. Exhale. Step it back. Inhale and exhale. Hold. Tighten the waistline. Hold it another breath. Inhale. Exhale. Yeah. One more. Come all the way back. Reach it up. Come back. Stretch it back. Take your length. Inhale. Hold it. Tighten the waistline. Tighten the rib cage. It's a corset. Inhale. Exhale. Beautifully done. Inhale, walk it back. So let's come to the floor. Okay. If you can't come to the floor, in just a minute, I'll do the same twists in the chair. Windshield wipers. Okay. I'm going to turn side to side. So getting up and down off the floor. Okay. Will you use a chair if you need to? If this is no big deal, you come to one knee and then you can come to another knee. Then you can come down. Okay. Then you turn the legs off to one side and you kind of sit. And then you slowly work your way. If going back like this is really hard, just come to your side, right? And then lie down. So I'm going to come this way so you can kind of see. No, you can't see it there. You get lost off I just changed the angle. So anyway, hands out to the side. Knees are bent. Feet are right at knee length. Okay. Maybe it is better to go this way. Okay. Arms out to the side. Knees drop. You look the other direction. The inhale comes back up. The exhale, the other direction. So whichever way the knees go, inhale up. Exhale, the head goes the other way. Inhale up. 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 The head goes. So just keep going. Windshield wipers, you can see why. We are not in a Texas downpour. It is not this. We are in a little drizzle, but a consistent drizzle. So they need to keep moving. When you've finished, maybe 2 more each side. 1 more each side. Notice your back. That sacrum loves this. We've worked it today. Go ahead and take your feet. Inhale. Take your feet as wide as your mat. Okay? Or as just wide out to the side, wider than your hips. And then inhale. Knees drop. You look. Inhale. Knees drop. You look. Inhale. And drop. And inhale. And drop. Inhale and drop. Inhale and drop. Inhale, there you go. And the inhale is up, the exhale is down. Notice how your back starts to feel. You're basically massaging that back with the floor and your bones. Now, this is another place. If you're down, I don't know if you have your ball handy. This is a place you can easily get right there underneath that sacrum and roll. Oh, yeah, you'll feel that. And come back and roll. Oh, yeah. And come back. And then maybe you take it to the other side. And you're just over your glute. And another one. And release. Okay. Work your way. Let's do one bridge pose. I want you to have your block handy. You may have to scroll around to get it. Sorry, I should have had you get that before. I'm turning so that you can see. Okay. Go ahead and watch this first, because once you are up, you shouldn't look side to side. So keep your head up. Okay. So pushing into the feet. Inhale, just lift the hips. Okay. Go ahead and come back down. Now push into the elbows and the back of the head. Lift your shoulders, pull the shoulders together and put them back down. Okay. Push into the feet. The knees aren't going to go wide. They're staying right together. Push in and lift up. Okay. And then see if you can get this flat way. It's not on the low back. It's right underneath the sacrum. So you can feel the sit bones aren't on it, but the sacrum is. And just push back into it. It's a fabulous massage. If you want, you can bring one leg in and then another one, and you can actually massage side to side. But maybe you just want to stay here, and that's fine too. Maybe you just want to hold it still. Okay, if you push into your heels, you can start to feel your chest open just a little more. Put your hands on your rib cage and go ahead and just kind of tighten the rib cage. So even though you're lifting up, there's that opposition, right? When we put our body in these optimal ways for it to move, okay, we are uniting our hearts and creating the consciousness of steadiness. And go ahead, push into your feet, lift your hips, and slide that block out and come down. And work your way into Shavasana. Now, I did not set this up well at all. Grab some pillows, right? Okay, if you might need a blanket underneath your head. If that's the case, okay, let me show you how to roll the blanket. Okay, you don't want your head on the blanket. You don't want your head like this. So you don't want it lifting your head, which is kind of how we read in bed sometimes. I've really had to look at that and watch that a lot. Because I usually try to read before I go to bed with a real book or roll, create a roll that's smooth. This is going to go under your neck, and then your head is a little bit supported. So you're actually, it's one of those, special pillows, right? So you can lie right there. Okay, these pillows, if you don't have a pillow handy, but you have a block handy, okay, that's totally doable. But you're going to support your knee, okay? Lay the block flat if you don't have a pillow. So you can do either one. It's underneath the knee. To me, it's more on the top part of the knee than underneath the shin. What you're doing is you're creating a place for your low back to relax. Take some deep breaths and come into a Shavasana. Inhaling and exhaling, go ahead and wiggle your toes. Crunch up your toes and your fingers and release them. Crunch them up again and release them one more time. Crunch them and release. And just breathe. Take a few really deep breaths. And then slowly stop worrying about your breath. Just let it come. Notice the rise and the fall. And then pretty soon, don't notice anything. Your mind may wander. If it does, just notice it and bring it back, staying united in your heart. Not beating yourselves up. Oh my gosh, I'm thinking about that again. Come on, Dad. Just bring it back. Deepen your breath. Bring awareness back in. I love to wiggle my fingers. One of my favorites is stretching with my arms overhead. And then if you'll bend one knee, sometimes getting up is the hardest part of that. I didn't show you how to do the twist in the chair, sorry. Turn over onto your side. Pause. You've got a wonderful body. I like to offer a little bit of a prayer of gratitude for this. Push your hands into the mat. Walk up, get up onto your hands and your knees. Come closer to your chair, right? Come up, use the chair. Come back to a seat. Pause with your eyes closed to notice what you've done for your body. Okay? It's been a marvelous workout. You've moved, you've breathed. Those two things alone help unite that heart. I hope that you'll find maybe some places that you need to get rid of those irritations, those perceived wrongs. If you can, well done. Inhale and exhale, breathing deeply. Bring your hands to your heart center. We'll just end with one round of Om. Inhale. Exhale with a ha. Inhale for Om. Om.